movies, and so today we're going to talk about Last Christmas. So I saw that Paul Feig was directing. He's known for Freaks and Geeks, Bridesmaids. His most recent one was A Simple Favor with Blake Lively, which for some people was a hit or a miss. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite. I just liked the twists in it. I didn't see some of them coming and some of them I did. So he's a hit or miss director for me. I do like his vision and what he does. So I saw he was doing a Christmas movie. I was super stoked. At the same time, I saw the trailer and I got, what is it? Just Like Heaven vibes with Mark Ruffalo and Reese Witherspoon. I think it was like 2005, 2006 movie where she turns out to be in a coma. So that's what I was feeling. And I'm like, oh, maybe not. You know, they always redo these kinds of movies. So then I go into Last Christmas. I see that Michelle Yeoh's in it. Henry Golding, they were both in Crazy Rich Asians together. Emma Thompson is the mom, and she also helped write the script. And then you have Emilia Clarke as Kate Katarina. She's the main character. In this movie, they make her be super selfish. Like almost everyone in the movie tells her, you know, you're a really selfish person. And they're driving this point so much throughout the beginning part, like you almost don't like her at all, which I think is the point. But at the same time, her arc for like redemption towards the end is almost hard to, you're rooting for her, but at the same time she's almost so unlikable that you're just kind of going, how is she gonna turn this around? Because there's some things you do, like her sister even says in the movie, like sorry just doesn't cut it, you know, like sorry doesn't change anything that's happened. So when you see this movie, her character gets to a point for me where it was almost, she was too unlikable, and it's like there's a point where you can't redeem a character like that. And they tried throughout this movie, and in the end it kind of succeeded for me, but at the same time it's like, oh, so all these people have told her this whole time that she's being so selfish, all of a sudden are like, oh, you dropped a gift off for me, this makes everything better. I'm gonna forget that you, for one guy, spoiler alert, killed the fish. I think that was in the trailer. For another person, she destroyed some huge ball thing he was making that took him like hours, and she just takes her friends for granted, and she kind of destroys the shop she's working in for Michelle Yeoh, whose name, by the way, is Santa in the movie, which I love because she runs that huge, amazing Christmas store, which I just want to see. Like some of the stuff in there was so ridiculous. And for some reason, Patti LuPone makes a cameo. She's buying like, or debating between two baby Jesuses, and it was just a random cameo that was kind of like, okay, funny but strange at the same time. Like maybe she loves Christmas. I think she does. I'm not sure. I just was like, I know I recognized her, so I had to look it up because I thought it was her, but I wasn't sure, and then it was her, and I was like, oh, cool, caught that one. But at the same time, it still threw me off a little bit because like, why is she in this movie? Side rant. Back to the movie. So Emilia's Clarke character, Kat. Her name is Katarina. She comes from Hungary. Like at the beginning, she starts there with her family and they escape from the war, and she's having a rough time with her family because, as you find out through the film, she almost died and then she had to get a heart transplant. Ever since she like came back from that, she's been weird because she says she doesn't feel like her heart is hers, and that kind of leads into the spoiler of the Henry Golding character because he's there, and I noticed throughout the movie, and I'm sure they wanted you to notice, but at the same time I'm not sure if you weren't looking for it if you noticed, like he's supposed to cover her while she's changing, but then these guys walk by and they whistle, and to me I was like, oh, he's not there. Like there's stuff he does and that she's with him, and I'm like, oh, well, he's not really there, she's just seeing him. And then as we're getting closer and closer towards the end, like she's depending on him more and more, and she's changing for the better, but at the same time he's like, you can't rely on me, you can't always wait for me, you can't depend on me. And I'm going, well, what, why is he here to change her life but saying don't depend on me? So I'm like, yeah, he's not there, there's no way he's there. And then there's a point where she just sort of starts helping the homeless people and singing, because it's kind of about her singing too. It's just like she like lost her voice and she can't really sing, and she's been doing all these auditions but like nothing ever works right because she's a train wreck, she drinks so much, all this kind of stuff, and you're just like she's destroying her own life, and everyone around her has helped her so much. And it's just one of those things where, like I said, they make her a little too unlikable, and you're just kind of like, well, I'm supposed to be rooting for this person. And at the same time, watching this whole movie, it kind of reminded me of like a Netflix Christmas movie, or one of those ones on the Hallmark Channel. I was getting those vibes, which was kind of strange from a mainstream, you know, like movie theater movie, but it is made by BBC Films, so it's set in London, all the actors are British. It's really cool. I liked that aspect of it, but at the same time, I'm just like, why am I getting Netflix vibes? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, the story was kind of, I don't know, and I can't find the right word for it, like it's just like I keep saying, the Netflix vibes thing, and I don't mind that, like I have Netflix, I enjoy those movies, but for some reason I thought this would be like a bigger Christmas movie, or, I mean, there is a lot of Christmas in it, I mean, it's called Last Christmas, but at the same time, it's like you're focusing on this very, very selfish character who is supposedly turning her life around for good when she has this Henry Golding's character, whose name is, I wrote it down somewhere, Tom. His name is Tom. I don't know why I didn't remember that, but whatever. So he's there, and he's like guiding her through these things, you know, and then she slowly realizes, like, as he tells her, like, she's changing for the better without him, and then she's like, well, I don't need you, like, I need someone to be there for me, and he's trying to tell her something, and she keeps cutting him off, and then she goes to this apartment that he finally took her to one time, and that's where the big reveal happens, where she realizes it's his heart. So last Christmas, when she was sick and about to die, he got in an accident, and he was a donor, so his heart is now in her body, which is why she can see him, which is why he helps her, and she's like, thank you, like, I will take care of it. He's like, please take care of my heart, it would have been yours anyway, and you're just kind of going, okay, that was like a nice twist type situation, but I mean, I saw it coming, because like I said, I didn't think he was there half the time, and some of the stuff they were doing, like they're ice skating, but there's times where he's just not there, like she's supposed to be teaching her how to ice skate, but at the same time she's just sort of doing things on her own, or they go places and he will like spin around a person because technically like he's not there and they wouldn't be able to go through him, like they can't show you that, right? So you're watching this movie and like part of you is going, what's happening, like is he there, is he not there, is he going to be like in a coma, like I said with Just Like Heaven, because I was getting those kind of vibes too. But then the fact that he was like, his heart is in her body, and she was saying that there was something foreign in her and she doesn't feel like herself. It's like, well, yeah, you almost died, and now you're taking everything for granted. Like, you weren't eating right, you weren't taking care of yourself, she was drinking all the time, she was being rude to her family. Like I said, she was almost so unlikable. You're just like, why, like, what? Like, I get unlikable characters, but then they're trying to give her this redemption arc where, like I said, she'll put like a bottle of wine on her sister's doorstep with like a necklace, like as a peace offering. Okay, peace offering, but like her sister said, like that doesn't make it better. That doesn't make it right. Sorry doesn't fix all this like pretty much shitty behavior that she's been doing. And just like, I understand what she was saying, how she said she was sick and everyone was giving her all this attention and making her feel special, and now that she's better, everyone just expects her to be normal again. And I understand that might be a huge like life-changing moment, right? But like, you got a new life, like you shouldn't take it for granted, and that's what she was doing, and that's what people are telling her, like, you need to do these things. And then of course it ends like where she'd been sort of helping the homeless throughout the whole thing. Like, first she made fun of Tom, Henry Golding's character, because he was helping the homeless, but he was really leading her there to do that. Sorry, it's one of those days. And so she ends up helping the homeless, she makes this huge thing, like, so they have a huge Christmas show at the end, or her mom, who just really wanted to feel helpful and needed, because once her daughter got better, she was kind of lost too, because she spent so much time helping her, and her mom is Emma Thompson, who is hilarious, and she is, you know, helping her, and she feels lost too, like she's from Hungary, she's doesn't know what she's doing there, like she's always like helped her family and those kinds of things. And then now her daughter's better and she's got nothing to do, so they have her cooking for the homeless at the end, and then they do this huge show and she sings about how like last Christmas, that's how it ends, with her singing she gave you her heart, you know, and that's like referring back to Tom, where she now has his heart and she's going to take care of his heart, and she's doing better, and she's, you know, reconciled with her sister and gave a new fish to the person's fish that she killed, and she, like I said, she's giving all these presents back, and she is trying to change her life and build those relationships up again, which is nice. So that was cool, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like I said, she just felt so unlikable, which is weird because I like her as a person, but that's good for acting, because that means she's a good actress, that I didn't like her in this movie. And I like her in a lot of things, you know, like she's the mother of dragons, right? And then Michelle Yeoh saved this movie for me. I cannot tell you how much I love her, right? She's plays Santa, like that's her name. I mean, she has a name in the movie, but she says it really fast, and she's like, well, no one can pronounce it anyway. And then she talks about how when she worked at a bakery, like her name was Muffin, and when she worked at somewhere else, her name was, the pet store, her name was Kitty. So wherever she goes and whatever she does, she adopts a new name so people can say it. And like, if she tricks herself out, right? She now owns this beautiful Christmas shop and she runs it, and her name is Santa, and she takes, you know, Kate's back a lot in this movie, and she's like, you know, I've given you so many chances, you need to step it up or I really have to fire you. But her character was just amazing in this, and I don't think she's ever done a wrong movie for me. I really appreciate all the stuff she's been in, and she was just, her comedic timing is so good in this movie, especially when you're like, about, you know, Kate, Emilia's character, you're just kind of like, ugh, she's really icking me out right now because she's so unlikable. Like, why? And then I just can't say that enough. Like, it's just like, about her, right? And then here comes Michelle Yeoh being funny and finding her love life with this guy who also likes her, and they have this weird like staring contest because they like each other but they don't want to talk to each other, and she calls him boy because his name's really hard to pronounce, and then he learns her language to say her name in it. And there was just a cute side like love story where I kind of wish like they were the main story. Maybe they'll do a short, which I doubt, but it would have been funny because I just liked that little bit. So overall, Emilia's character, Kate, she grew, she changed, she got for the better, she helped people, so that was nice and obviously part of the story. And then the twist, you know, is she has Henry Golding's heart, he's not there, he helped guide her into being a better person. But like I said, she just felt a little too unlikable to me, that I'm just like, all these huge changes they're doing towards the end is just kind of, maybe. But at the same time, it is a Christmas movie, it is got all those feelings, like people around me were crying, I teared up at one point too. So when they can get you like that, it is a good movie. It's just sometimes the way the characters are written, it doesn't flow throughout the whole movie. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, I just, like, her unlikableness was a little too much for me. I don't know if that's her playing the part really well or if that's just the way it was written, but I just couldn't get over that. And then you're supposed to be excited at the end, like she's changed, and she is changed, and I am happy that she's gonna take care of his heart that he gave her, you know, to help her live. But at the same time, I'm just like, she was not that nice of a person. She was selfish, she was shitty to her friends, she didn't care about anything. And you want to watch a nice Christmas movie like that to escape and be like, yes, happy love rom-com type situation. That's usually what people feel. That's what I feel when I watch those. I go in thinking, oh, you know, nothing too big, nothing too great, all that kind of stuff. So overall, probably like a C, you know? Yeah, because it was just probably the writing for me. I'm not sure. It wasn't the best Christmas movie. I mean, Christmas movies usually have the same formula, but all that, I don't know. What do you think? Bye.